My name is Hamza Berrios. I committed my offense when I was 19 years old. I didn't get arrested until I was 20 years old. And I spent over 15 years incarcerated. I did not get released until September 20th, 2024. Leading up to me getting parole, there was a lot of feelings involved. There was a lot of emotions. Essentially, I was worried. I didn't know if I was going to get paroled. I didn't know the ramifications or the qualifications of my parole. So I was just like a little worried, anxious, afraid, a lot of things going on because you're trying to fight for your freedom. My hope essentially was that I presented myself in the best case to the parole board, sitting with the fact that I was like, damn, I could have said this, I should have said this. And a lot of that kind of hit me kind of hard. I see my name on the list for an appointment. I knew what it was. It was for my decision. I went down and I remember just being so nervous. Before I even went, I had to stop by a unit or walk by this unit where my closest friend Alameen was at. I yelled up to him. I'm like, yo, I'm about to go see these people and I'm about to get my decision right now. And he was like, all right, inshallah, it's going to be good. Well, I went in and they were like, they told me that I got parole. I have to be real. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know what was going on. It was just like, I was happy, but like anxious. Was this a dream? Was this really happening? Was I really being released? What is the next step, right? I knew I wasn't just going to be released like that. I ended up getting moved to MCI Norfolk. From there, I waited like about 2 months, which was probably the longest 2 months I've waited. Once I did get the hearing, the day that I was leaving, Friday, September 20th, 2024, I was just like anxious, excited, anxious, worried. I wanted that to come by so fast. I don't even think I slept like the first 2 nights. They let you know like about 48 hours before you left. So I don't think I slept within those 48 hours. You're just trying to hurry up and get these days passed so you can just be out of here. But yeah, I was extremely excited, anxious. Just couldn't wait for it to happen.
And how was your last night in prison?
I barely slept. And I was in a cell by myself, so I didn't have no one to talk to or anything like that. So I was just like, all right, I'm just up all night, forcing myself to go to sleep, but I couldn't go to sleep. I'm just like fidgeting, not knowing what to do. And then once that morning came, it was like a long process. I'm ready, I'm bringing my things down to property, trying to get my affairs in order. I'm thinking like I'm ready to leave at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I thought I was out the door. I didn't leave till like about 12. Those hours and minutes became longer and longer and longer. It was like basically a restless night. Didn't have much sleep. First day out, my mother came to pick me up, as well as one of my brothers, Armand Coleman. And, again, it wasn't like something that you can just like sit there and just kind of like, just let loose. It wasn't like that. The way it's structured in that facility was just like, no, you have to leave this prison and go straight into the car and go. So I couldn't even process it. Like I couldn't even just sit with it. I literally jumped in the car, hugged my mother, jumped in the car and just go. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, am I really free? Like, what's going on? I didn't know how to process it. It was so many feelings and didn't know if this was really happening. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think. It was just a lot. From there, we was trying to document my reentry, and my bro wanted to take me to Gillette Stadium where they was actually having a street workers conference there. So everyone was there to greet me. People that I did time with, I was able to see them, give them dap, give them a hug, and actually just see them in a different in a different stage of their life, right? And they're seeing me in the beginning of this new stage of my life. So it was definitely like a monumental moment, I think, for both of us, like both parties. The people that I know didn't doing time, and then them being released, they're seeing me of my day of my release, or like I guess you could say my rebirth, right? But it was honestly, it was great. Everyone just advised me, just take your time, take your time. Don't feel like you gotta rush to do everything. Just take your time to get things. And if you ever feel overwhelmed, just contact them.
And how was your first night out of prison?
I did not sleep. No nights I have slept. So I think, like, from knowing the day that I was gonna be released from prison to my actual first night out, I probably didn't sleep for like the first 5 days. My first night, I didn't sleep a wink, like legit, and I was so energized too. It wasn't like I was tired. I do remember my bro Armon. He brought me to this restaurant, and we was just like waiting for our car to come. And I'm just sitting there, and I kind of like just nodded off. I started drifting off. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh man, my bad, man. I was falling asleep a little bit." Like, honestly, I didn't sleep from like probably the first 2 or 3 days. I didn't get no sleep. I remember having this huge anxiety of feeling like the DOC or the police were gonna arrest me, and thinking that they made a mistake and they were gonna come get me. I was in the wrong of some sort. Even though I wasn't doing nothing like illegal, I just felt like, oh, anything can be misinterpreted. I just wanted to hurry up and get to the house I was supposed to be at, this reentry home. Even though I was with my family, I just wanted to hurry up, get there, so like I wouldn't be in any way misinterpreted, like violations of my parole conditions or anything like that. Even though I was good, I just felt this innate, like this feeling. And I just felt like maybe they're gonna arrest me. Maybe they're gonna snatch me up in the middle of the night and take me back, or wake me up early in the morning like, yo, we made a mistake, you have to come back. All the way up into my parole, first 15 years, I thought about the harm that I've caused. I thought about like how this impacted the family, his community, his loved ones. Then I'm thinking about my family, how it impacted them, and then myself. And it went through stages. I was able to like really hone in on like trauma and hurt and pain, and how is it reflected on like the community, loved ones, and family. 15 years I thought about that. Like, I can't even tell you the amount of times, because it was countless. Thinking about my hopes, my dreams, is just to be liberated, right? To be free, to have the opportunity to have a second chance at life, or to have a chance, right? But all I was thinking is that if I do get a chance to make it home, I wanted to be the best person of myself. I just wanted to be the best version. So I participated in education groups, self-help groups, challenged myself in my way of thinking, challenged myself in like how to articulate my feelings, my thoughts, my opinions. Coming home, I just wanted to be like a good community member, a good son, a good brother, a good friend, a good partner. I had to take that time inside to do that, but the hopes of investing in that time is that once released, I can actually be that person that I was putting all that time into. And then obviously, like, wanted to be successful, but then defining what success looks like. For me, success was just being content in what I had and being true to myself, but being in a position where I can help other people. I'm still navigating that myself. At first I wanted this, but then now being home, I'm like, oh, you know what? I didn't think of these other opportunities or these other ideas or these other avenues that I never considered, because they were never there when I was incarcerated. So now that I'm home, I'm able to see these various opportunities, these various ideas or ways of like how help looks like. For those that know me, they know that I was really big on education. Be in those spaces where like I can learn but also educate. I had the BU program, so I went to BU, graduated. But in those spaces where I was taking that information, I was taking it and bringing it to these more informal spaces where people didn't have the opportunity to go to BU. I wanted to keep furthering my education, because I felt like for me, education was my ability to change the world, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to get into Harvard. When I get home, I'm gonna try to get into Harvard and see if I could pull it off, I guess. So currently, right now, I am walking through the Harvard campus and just checking out the scene, and it's very surreal for me because I ain't never stepped foot on any college campus before. The only college campus that I could ever say that I've remotely even walked through is like prison campus, where walking to like. So, have I accomplished at least one of the goals? Yeah, yeah. Some of the challenges that I face coming back, and it varies at times, right? It's just not like, it's not linear. Like dealing with family dynamics, right? You know, sometimes family loves me and I love them, but I have to sometimes take a step back and recognize that I was gone for a long period of their lives. Yeah, I have new family members that I don't really know, but here they are. They're calling me Theo, you know, or uncle, and I don't know them. And being away too, I've seen that like family members have built relationships that not necessarily they were there before I went in. So they already had bonds and relationships, and I have to respect those things. And it's like kind of sometimes feeling like an outcast. And then it's also like, you know, integrating into society and knowing that society runs in like a high level of frequency of like technology and easy accessibility to things that it normally wasn't existent for me. For instance, there's a lot of people shopping online. That wasn't really a thing like that before I went in. That wasn't even a thing. Like people will go to the malls. You go to the mall nowadays, it can be empty. I don't really shop online. I don't know how to do that or navigate that. I never owned a computer, never owned a laptop or iPhone ever in my life. You know, my family didn't have the means or resources as a kid to afford a computer. So I didn't know how to navigate the technology of today that's so far advanced than it was before I went in back in 2009. I had to readjust, especially going into grad school. One of the things that I really wanted upon my release was a laptop, specifically a laptop and iPhone. I seen them as a tool, right? As a tool that's needed to navigate the world. I didn't care about clothes. I didn't care about sneakers. I feel like those things would come eventually. But like essentially what I wanted was tools to gather. Going back into like the challenging things of reintegrating into society was the digital world, the technology of today.
Or the little celebrations, the triumphs, achievements that you had.
So obviously getting into grad school, getting into Harvard with Dean's Fellowship, full ride, everything that was great. That was like, you know, probably one of the best and greatest achievements. I wasn't structurally, systematically, I wasn't supposed to get into Harvard, right? But outside of that was also like getting my driver's license. My license, I guess, was suspended while I was inside, and I had to retake my driver's permit, my driver's license. Before I do anything, I had to go see the hearing officer, and the hearing officer was only available between the hours of 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. And I would have to show up at the RMV about an hour and a half prior to that. So mind you, I'm on parole. I can't leave my house until 6 o'clock in the morning. And the place that I have to get to is about half an hour of a walk. I had to do this like 5, 6 different times in order to see the hearing officer. The hearing officer only sees the first 5 people that show up in line. So you literally had to show up and be the first person there, or at least the 5th person there. Anybody after the 5th, you're not being seen. So the first time I went, I rushed. In my mind, I was like, who's gonna show up at like 6 in the morning? As soon as I got there, it was like 12 people waiting. And they're probably thinking the same thing, like, let me stick behind and maybe I can slide through. No, as soon as 5 people came, everybody else had to go. And it was like, they told them like, come back tomorrow. So I tried again tomorrow, the same thing. It came to a point that I had to run. I started running, and I'll get to like being the 7th or 8th person. It came to the point that I had to talk to the security guard there, and she she told me, she was like, listen, I see you coming here and you're trying. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to hold your spot for you. But you just got to make sure that you get here before this time. And I was like, I got you. Don't worry, I'll be here. I got the spot. You go in there and they give you these papers to sign. So I filled everything out, boom, and I hold on to this folder. I did the class, paid the money, took my driver's permit, which I had to wait like a month to do. I was studying the whole time, passed it, and I'm not gonna lie, I was so freaking happy when I got my driver's permit. I think I was more happy when I got my driver's permit than I was when I graduated from BU. I'm not even lying. Like, I was like, this is crazy. This was like an uphill battle. It was just a lot. Getting my driver's permit, getting my license, getting my car, landing a career with Transformational Prison Project, doing work that I love and I enjoy. These are a lot of the beautiful achievements that I was able to accomplish in my first year, and then also getting my own place, my very first own apartment. I've never had my own apartment ever in my life. So these were all equally great, big achievements for me, you know. Resources is definitely needed for like people coming home. Whether you're inside or you're outside already, you shouldn't just be like limited to like a time frame. You're doing these things, you seem like you're doing great, you're well adjusted. But that, you have to understand, I've lost a large part of my life, right? It wasn't just, I wasn't gone for a week, a year. I was gone over 15 years. And I know some men that was gone over 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And to say at one point, like, let's say they're doing good the first year, and then you want to say like, all right, yeah, I think we're good. You don't need no resources. You don't need more assistance. Nah, that's not fair. You know, they've been away for X amount of years. And I'm not saying that should be equal to that, but I think it shouldn't be like a time frame or a cap on it. Any advice or words I would say to people coming out, yo, don't feel like you need to rush into anything. Take your time, be patient, and if you feel overwhelmed, take a step back. Take a day, 2 days, a week, whatever you feel like you need to like recoup, get in a better space. Whatever it looks like for you, take that, you know, but don't feel like you need to rush. One thing that I would say being incarcerated is that we learn how to be patient. You know, like, we're forced to be patient, waiting for like motions to be passed or to be heard, waiting for our property, waiting to hear back from parole, all of these things. It's a waiting game. So we had to learn how to navigate that and be patient. So we have the best tool in our arsenal is patience. You don't need to feel like you have to rush. You can continue to be patient, continue to build your life, continue to build relationships. It doesn't have to happen overnight. Just take your time.
If you could use or choose one word to describe your first year, what word would that be?
One word: focus.
And my last question is, what are you looking forward to for next year?
Well, taking over the world. No, excel, be exceptional in my grad school, and then put myself in a position that I can advocate for other people coming home. I kind of want to build a reputation that I can help other people transition and I could get them into these spaces as well. I want to be able in a position where I can open that door, open these windows for people.